everyone. How are you all? Sorry, we're actually starting a bit late. We're trying to go on YouTube because there are some of my friends saying that they are not actually on Facebook and they want to have the privilege to talk to me to see what is happening. And just the hiccup anyway. Sorry about that. We're actually trying to. So now we can start. Oh, thank you. Hello, Tayo. How are you? I can see you are there. Mr. Paul, how are you doing? Kehinde, how are you? Florence, Salami, I'm happy to see all of you there. How are you? And we're actually going to be talking. Sorry, because some of people have actually been waiting and waiting, but we'll just actually go straight because of our time. But next time, for the benefit of our friends that are not on Facebook, we will be able to go on YouTube. We just want to say, I want to say happy Sunday to everybody, and I appreciate you. I can see you, my pastor, Misa. How are you doing? My lovely sister in Canada told me, how are you? Thank you for joining in. Mr. Paul, how are you doing? Thank you. And we're actually just going to be talking about communication today. Communication. I'm going to talk about communication in marriage. And you know, sometimes we spouse, we are taking our partners for granted. That is exactly what is happening now. And you know the mistake we're actually making. Fine. I'm not saying we shouldn't take care of our children. Yes. Or children are the heritage of God. We should take care of them. But remember, before the children actually join you, it's been yourself and your partner. And most women, I'll say, because I know the women are actually guilty about this one now, we just forget, we actually ignore our husbands, and this shouldn't be so, because the way it's going now, remember, those children are actually watching us, and we're training them, we're building them for our future. It's whatever that we actually do. Hello Karen, how are you? How is the new baby doing? Hello, I can see you. Oh, hi, sorry, I'm just popping in because that's Karen Barbara there. She has a lovely son just 2 weeks ago. Hope the boy is doing fine. Okay, and what I'm actually saying is that about communication in marriages. Communication in marriage is very, very important. Okay, like for instance now, your husband actually, or your wife, your spouse actually offended you, and you're not comfortable with this, and the best thing to do is actually to speak about it immediately. Don't sleep over it. Don't say, oh, after all, I'm used to it anyway. No, you can't be used to something that is hurting you. From little thing like that, we actually trigger to a bigger thing. Let's try and make it a habit that we talk every day. And I will say something, because we have some spouses that some in Nigeria and some are actually in abroad. Let's find it a way to tell ourselves everything that happened every day. Don't just imagine that, oh fine, he knows I'm going to work anyway. Yeah, I know you've gone to work. What happened at work? Anything can actually happen at work. So try and find the habit and tell your wife everything. And you know what? If your wife or your husband actually knows you very well, and when he hears that, oh, they said something about you or something actually happened, he can actually defend you. So please, can you just take that over? That communication in marriage is very important. Let's discuss everything. Don't let's imagine that he knows already. Oh, what am I going to say? He doesn't know anyway. He knows I'm going to the office. Yes. Let's discuss that. And what I was saying earlier, before some of people actually join us, I was talking about women are fond of doing this when they have children, they neglect their husbands. Remember, men are babies too. We need to pamper them. They need to be pampered. We need to actually encourage them. There are some men that they even, oh, Uncle Bode, how are you doing? Thank you for joining. More, how are you? Thank you for joining. I appreciate you. I can see everyone there. Thank you. Thank you. And tell me, how are you? Thank you for joining. Thank you very much. Okay, let's back to what I was saying. That our children, yes, we need to concentrate on our children, but we need to make our husband, our spouse, the priority. Remember that without the man or without the woman, you cannot have the children. And the children are coming, fine, we need to make our husband number one. Find a time. You know, I know family holiday is good. It's good to go on holiday together to enjoy ourselves. But find it a time for husband and wife to actually go out together to have nice time. And thank God I'm actually 18 years in marriage now, and to God be the glory, my husband is still my best friend. Fine, our children are there. We've got 4 boys, they're doing well. But you know what? They know. Because, you know, as they're actually growing, if you are not your husband's friend, what happens when the children finally leave home? The communication is very important in marriage. Don't sweep anything under the carpet. If you are not happy with anything, please say it out and move on from there. You're welcome, Shade. Thank you for joining. Edwin Reed, thank you for joining. How are you as a family? You're welcome. We're actually discussing about communication today. And I was saying that we should remember that our spouse is number one. Make it a goal this week to learn how to listen and how to speak. I want us to learn. Fumi Salami, you are welcome. Thank you for joining. Thank you. Make it a goal this week to learn to our spouse and how to listen. It's not just about you saying everything every time. Yes, you're right. But why don't you listen to his own opinion and let him and listen to what he's going to say. Belema, thank you for joining. I appreciate you. Thank you. And it's not just about you just waiting that, okay, fine, I know I'm always right, fine. Especially in African setting, you know, when the men are speaking, oh yeah, but let's talk globally now, and let's just say that fine, one person is speaking, we need to listen to the other. We actually meant to say, okay, what did I say wrong? What happened? What was I doing when we first got married? What is going on now? Oh, we're only just 2 years in the marriage, and my husband is not treating me the way he actually used to treat me before. So that's, we need to actually watch ourselves. You know what we need to do? We need to review ourselves every time. Let's review what is happening. What am I really doing? Am I still going the right way? I remember when we got married 18 years ago, there's something I used to do that actually triggers him. I used to doing that. Remember that, like I said, the children are growing. We need to train the children, but don't let the children get all the attention and abandon your spouse. So remember where you started from. What was the thing that was actually interesting your husband? And women, please don't neglect don't take your husbands for granted. We need to look good every time. Those 90s, change them off and get another one. You don't say, oh, after all, he knows anyway, I don't care. No, you need to care. He cares. And you know, men are see. They is what they see. They believe in what they see. They are not like women. Women will listen when they say, oh, I love you, oh, we want to hear that, and that just triggers on. That just can stay there for the rest of like 5 years. When the man say, oh, I love you, I can't do without you, that is the woman. But the men don't even want to hear. The men see, and that is where you just wonder, a 50-year-old man marrying a 20-year-old girl. You'll be wondering why. What happened? And you'll be wondering that, oh, I'm sure they've been married, happily married, nothing's happening. But the girl at home, the woman at home, is actually neglected. Hello, my sister here today. Thank you very much for joining. Thank you. I appreciate you. We can actually put our comments as I'm actually seeing, because I can see everybody and we'll just be saying everything together. And I can hope you can hear me very well. Just in case you can actually just write something there so I can know that you are not actually, you can hear me. So what I was actually saying, Toyosi, I can see you. Rosemary, thanks for joining. Oh, Sophie, Lola, thank you very much for joining. I was talking about communication, and like I said, women take this for granted. You know, I'm still coming to men. It's not just about the men thing. It's not about only the women. We need to be up to our game. Our hygiene need to be number one, impeccable. You don't just take it for granted and have hair all over everywhere. You don't even shave. And the man is like, oh, what is happening? Oh, I can't go. How many times do you clean up when you finish using the bathroom? We need to clean up. We need to rinse underneath. Because you know what? Our personal hygiene is very important. And that is what is happening nowadays now. That women will just like, oh, I'm 5 years into marriage, so he knows me, he knows anyway, it doesn't matter. The man, it does, it counts. And that's why I'm like, communication. If you're seeing something in your spouse that you don't like, tell him, oh love, you know the way you actually wear those mini skirts in those days, I like it. Even though you have children that are 18 years, your husband wants it. So why are you not going to give it to him? Oh yes, all the pastor's wife in the house. Oh, I know we are guilty. But you know what? They are pastors, they are saying, they want you to look good. They want you to look good. Nkechi, thanks for joining. I appreciate you. Thanks for joining. So we like what I was saying is that we don't take them for granted, and our hygiene is so important. We need to change those underwears. We need to change those bras, those pants that you've been using for like 2 years, and you don't think of changing them. The 90s, we need to change them. We need to know the right words to say at the right time. Thank you very much, Mr. Idowola Binto. Thank you, Tom Banjoko. Thank you for joining. Thank you. You can actually be passing our comment. I'm just appreciating everybody for joining in. Thank you. And okay, and what I was actually saying, I was talking about communication there. And when was the last time you actually said a good thing to your husband? When was? Can you remember? Can you just tell me the last time? Thank you very much, Pastor Patrick. Joe Konga, thank you for joining. When was the last time you said something nice to your spouse? When was? Did you appreciate him? Did you just take it for granted after buying those flowers? Yes, you don't like flowers, but that is what it could buy for now. He doesn't have the money to buy diamond ring. Let's appreciate our spouse. The little they give us, let us appreciate. Let us communicate and say thank you. And what you don't like, let us be able to say, oh darling, you know what? What you did yesterday, I don't like it. Don't even say yesterday. What you did now, I don't really like it. I say it in a very loving way. I'm telling you, marriage is the best thing that can happen on earth. It's working, and I believe it's going to work. But you know what we're going to say today? We're going to give ourselves an assignment. We want to say something. I want us to take our pen and our paper now to write about 10 good things about your spouse. And that 10 things you're going to say to your spouse this week that we're going into. And let's see how things will change, will turn around. Imagine a man that comes home and is always like, oh, you know, he's going to complain. But you don't want him to complain. So what are you going to do? The best thing we can actually do is that, you know what, you get up, you give with a hug. And you know the man, when he gets home, he wants to eat pounded yam. Make that pounded yam for him. You understand? Globally, if it's spaghetti, if it's McDonald's, whatever he likes, make it for him and encourage him and say, oh, thank you, honey. I was at work today. What happened at work? And you have been at work too. Talk together. Share notes. And I was saying something. Thank you very much, my sister, Fumi Ibrahimo. Thank you. And I was saying something about people that their spouse you're not living together with your spouse. Do you know there was one time my husband was actually in Nigeria and he was there for a couple of months? Do you know what I do? Every morning before, as I open my eyes, I send a text messages. And I just say, hello, good morning, how are you doing? Did you wake up well? How was your night? And trust me, we still spoke yesterday, we still spoke last night before we slept. But I sent messages and I pray for him. Women in the house, when was the last time you prayed for your husband? You keep saying, Mama, alone. It's what you say that happens. Oniranu, yes. You call him Oniranu and you want him to be good. He can't do well. Ayomide, thank you for joining. Ayomide Ashadele Balona, thank you so much. You understand? We need to say positive things to our husband. Koreje Bitoye, thank you so much for joining. We need to convey positively in their lives. And the same actually happens to the men. I'm not just only talking to the women now. I'm talking to the men too. When was the last time you appreciated that woman? She's been in the kitchen all day. When was the last time you went to the kitchen to actually romance her? Just to give her a cuddle and say, hello darling, you're doing well. I appreciate you. Thank you for giving me those children. When was the last time you said that? Those are the little things that happens that we actually take our spouse for granted. Those little things actually goes a long way. Because what we're actually talking about today is about communication. We need to communicate with one another. We need to appreciate one another. We need to say, when you're not happy, just come out. Say something and say, oh, I don't like this. And you understand. And your spouse will definitely say, oh, I'm sorry about that. And if he's not apologizing, Fumi Akpata, thank you very much for joining. I appreciate you. And if he's not apologizing, you know what I do? Let me tell you my story now. What I actually do, when I just realize something that I'm not happy, I'll just be moody over the house, just be trying to, you know, blow trump like a child. And sometimes, of course, you notice and will not say what's happening. And you know what? Will say, oh, what happened? I'll say everything. And you know, our men, they have a way of just turning things around, not apologizing. But we know we women, we want to hear it. We just want to hear, I'm sorry. Do you understand? Sometimes they might bring the flower, the card, but we just want to hear, I'm sorry. So please, our men in the house, let's just say you're sorry to us. We just want that. We just want you to say you're sorry. That's it. There is no big deal in I'm sorry anyway. And you know, when you say we're sorry, because we just want to hear the word. We're not the person that see. When we say I'm sorry, and that's okay for us. So let's come out to apologize to one another. Let's just come out. If anything that is bothering us, let's just come out and say, oh, I don't like that, and what you said, you could have done it another way to say you're sorry. I actually make sure, and I keep saying, you've not said I'm sorry, you've not said I'm sorry, until the man will not say, okay, I'm sorry. So that's just about communication. And you know what? Oh, Madam Barbara, thank you for joining. How are you doing? And congratulations on your little baby. Thank you for joining. And what I was actually saying is that there is no big deal in apologizing. And you know what? Couples that actually do things together, they stay together. If you notice couples, they go everywhere together. Oh, they know me. I like saying myself an example because you actually see me, because I don't want to be like in Kukuland, oh, I'm just saying something I don't do. Even I remember in those days, and still now, my friends say, oh, when you see Shola, you see Rotimi. Because he's my friend. Your friend, your husband is actually meant to be your best friend. Don't, you're welcome, Funke Kokola, thank you for joining. Your husband needs to be your best friend. Don't look for another best friend anywhere. Do you think that marriage that is not working, don't you think it's communication that is actually affecting it? Why do you have to go to somewhere else to start talking? And most people, oh fine, with all due respect, we can open up and say everything to our pastors. But the man that you share the same bed with, you can't open up and say what you actually did is annoying. Let's come and you know what? Let's know the way we talk. Let's say it in a friendly way. Let's say it in a subtle way. The way we talk to our spouse really matters. Respect is reciprocal. Don't be insultive. You treat the man with respect. Your friends, your families, you treat him with respect. But if you just talk to him anyhow, and you're surprising that, oh, why is my friend talking to my husband like that? I don't talk to your husband like, oh yes, because you actually got your friend, and you are saying that man, can you imagine the idiot? He just came home. He got home around 9 o'clock and was telling me to make food for him. Oh yes. You can make food. It doesn't stop anything. And if you're tired, the man can actually come with you to the kitchen to make the food. There's no bill there. Ada, thank you very much for joining. Salonge, thank you for joining. And there is no big deal there. What we're actually talking about is that we come together, we do things. That marriage that is having a little bit of issue is actually because you're not talking. Why don't you give it a try this week? I want to give everyone a challenge that we should do something, we should talk. Let's come out and talk to one another. Make your husband your best friend. Make your wife your best friend. What is that thing that fine, you are not in the same country, but you can actually come together and talk? Oh, thank you very much. I'll just read some comment that someone has said. But for some women, it is when you say sorry that they go over the edge. Okay, my brother. So better to let them display their moods. Thank you, my brother. I know some women that when you say sorry, they go. But you know what? Like I would say, you will know what your spouse actually wants. If your wife is the type that when you say you're sorry, that is not going to be saying, oh, it's actually apologizing and I need to do something. Oh, you're welcome, my friend, Dayo Motowa, you're welcome. Yeah, Miss Olu, thank you for joining. Thank you very much. But you know what actually your spouse wants, like I was actually saying. If it's one that when you say you're sorry, that it's going to be like, oh, but you know what, there's a way, you will know our key. There's a way you need to just talk. Maybe you need to just give her a good cuddle and just say, oh, you understand? That's the way you will know your spouse. But someone like me, you understand, I'm just talking from my point of view. Like I just want to hear it. It doesn't really matter. You understand? And we'll be talking and I'll just say, you've not said I'm sorry. I just want to hear that. So, do you understand? So, like I was saying about that, I know what you're saying. But it's actually good. It's a good thing when we talk. And you know when you talk, when you say you're sorry to spouse, like I said, it is no big deal. You understand? You appreciation actually goes a long way. A woman actually is working 8 hours and a man is working 8 hours. I'm talking all over the world. We work. And we get home, you want to make your food at home. Don't you think, my brothers in the house, that would be very nice for you to just go and cuddle that woman in the kitchen? Just give her a little peck and a little romance. Just hug her from the back in the kitchen and say, thank you, you're doing well. And do you know what? Even though she's been tired, you've just given her a good strength to do what she was even doing. Maybe she was even grumbling that, oh my goodness, I'm so tired and I need to make this food. What do I need to do? But that cuddle actually makes a long way. She doesn't even see that she's cooking anymore. You understand? So, and there's nothing bad. There is nothing bad for both of us to stay together in the kitchen. You can talk about the day. Thank you for joining, Faithful Bentoro. Thank you. There's nothing bad in actually coming and say, oh, darling, oh, fine, as she's actually cooking. You're just standing. You're not even doing anything. You're talking. You're gisting. You don't find it a big deal when your wife is your friend. You go to the kitchen. It's a relationship coming together, saying things together. What happened today in the office? There are lots of things that have happened that we need to talk about. Oh, do you know what my boss did? Blah 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 blah. You will talk. We learn to talk. We learn to share notes. And then the wife actually now says, oh, do you know what? As she's talking, you know, women, we just like doing the things and be talking. And as I'm talking, oh yes, if you're making pando, thank you. I can see that. You can actually help him in making the pando. There is no big deal there. As he's making the pando, you're just him and you're actually patting him on the back. And you're saying, thank you, my darling. Oh, no worry me. If you want to say anything, you just encourage. You understand? We appreciate. Appreciation actually goes a long way. And do you know what? Like I would say something in Ephesians 4:27. It said, let no corrupt communication proceed out of your mouth, but that which is good and that is useful and edifying, that it may glorify one another. When was the last time you said something good? You appreciate him, you just wake up in the morning and you just say, my husband, the Lord bless you. My husband, the Lord lift you high. My husband, the Lord will make you the head and not the tail. And do you know what? Thank you very much, Nirudi, for joining. Thank you, Yemisi and your wife, for joining. Thank you. And you know what? And the husband and the wife and the husband too. When was the last time you woke up and you just say, my darling, the Lord bless you. Thank you for giving me these children. I just appreciate you. What can I do without you? Do you know those little things you are saying is they're little, but they actually go a long way, I'm telling you. If you actually take note for what we are doing, this is not going to be the last. We're going to be having this every Sunday between 7 to 7:45. We're going to be doing this every Sunday. Why don't we just note and say, this week, our topic this week is about communication. What are the 10 things that your husband has actually done from the beginning of the year? If you can't find anything, remember the lovely wedding ring he gave you. at least costing money. And if you can't find anything your wife has done, remember all those cooking that she has been doing, and just say, you know what, I just want to say I bless God for you. I just want to say thank you. Like before I actually start, because I was actually meant to, before I was waiting for people to come, I just want to appreciate my husband. I just want to appreciate my head. I just want to appreciate Oluwaroti, Oluwaseun. I want to say thank you on his behalf. He actually encouraged you. He made this happen, because I was like, oh, we've been on this like marriages, we want to go ahead, we want to do it, but today you need to see all the gadgets in front of you. I don't even know how to set it up, but you know what, I just want to say I just bless God for his life, and I thank God for the ministry that God is taking into, and I know it's my head that I will not miss it in Jesus' name. And I just want to tell all the sisters in the house, appreciate your husbands. All the brothers in the house, appreciate your men. Speak positively, appreciate your wife, speak positively into their life. I mean, passing our comment, I'm just going to be saying something as I'm reading comments, and I'll just be saying it because I'm seeing comment. Okay, thank you very much. I can see that. Thank you for enjoying it, Mr. Adebowale. Thank you. And I just want to say, okay, what do you want to do if it's actually your spouse that got you annoyed? What do you want to do? I wish I can actually hear you saying something. Oh, I'll just lock myself in the room and I won't talk to him. Oh, that happens. But you know what I do? When he actually gets me annoyed, you know what? I don't know how to keep things. I can't sleep over the night with grudge in my mind. And you know what? I was just telling him, I said, mine, because that's why I call him. And please, can you look for a lovely pet name to call your spouse? It's really good. And I just said, man, you know what? You've done something and I'm not happy. This is what you did. Tell him. Don't be afraid. Tell her what she has done. Maybe she doesn't even know she's actually doing that. She might not know, you know what? Because sometimes, thank you for joining. Bola Daudu, thank you very much. And you know what? You might not even know that what your spouse has done. Your spouse might not know she has offended you. Because remember, we are from different backgrounds. Remember that? We're from different backgrounds. We're not brought up together. We're not even, maybe some of us are not even the same tribe. Maybe some of us are even just, we just met maybe in the bus or university, or even in the cab. You never can say. But you know what I'm telling you? Learn to know your spouse. Learn to know your spouse's body language. And you know what? Those children are watching us. What are you teaching your children? What are you teaching them? And I'm going to talk about, I'm also going to talk next week too about single mothers. So it's not that you are alone. We're also in it together. This program is not only for married couple, it's for everyone. It's about the way we want to build up our home. How are we training those children that God has given us? Remember, when you shout on your spouse, the children will think that is the way it's being done. They don't know. You understand? They don't know because they can see you. They're a mirror. So what are we teaching them? What are the lessons? What are the morals that they're learning from us? Why don't you sit down and reflect that am I a good role model? Is this why I brought these children to this world, to actually make them miserable? Some of us are there. We're just making those children miserable. Why? Because the problem the spouse are giving us, we're just taking it over to the children. And it's not their fault. You understand? We just need to know what? We need to just calm down. We need to understand ourselves. We need to know what we're talking about. That okay, if we're somewhere and the spouse is actually just looking at you, we need to know body language. We need to know even eye contact. What is it saying? Is it that he doesn't like what I've just said? Is it that I offended him? And don't I keep saying it because I realize pride. And he said it. Pride goes before the fall. Why do we need to proud? Why do we need to be arrogant? We go to the room, we strap ourselves naked. There's nothing we're hiding. You understand? We see our nakedness. So what is it that we're hiding? What is it that is so high up there that you can't come down to your spouse's level and just say, I love you, darling, I'm sorry for what I did. So I just want to encourage us that I just want to say something. Thank you very much for contributing that. Knowing our spouse love language is very key. Yes, we need to know our spouse love language. I understand, because you can't be with your spouse. I know what, young marriages are bleeding. Why? Because fine, you've just married and you think that man is the same thing when you were courting. No, wake up, wake up, wake up. It's another man entirely. You are going to make him and you are going to pray into what you want. But there is no good marriage without hard work. We need to work hard. We need to work hard on our marriages. We need to say positive words to ourselves. Don't write down your spouse. Don't say negative things, especially when his friends are there. Women, take notes. Even if you are in the room with your man alone, oh, you can say whatever you want. But when the man is with his friends or his family, you watch your tongue. The men want to be in control when they are outside. And when they are with their children, know that. When they are with their children, they are with their family, they are with their friends, just keep your mouth shut. Just be calm. Remember what happened in Queen Vashti, that was saying that, oh yes, why do I want to dance? I don't want to dance. The story of Esther. That's how Esther became the queen. So let's be careful. Let's know what to say at the right time. You don't have to talk. Do we have to talk every time? No. We don't have to win arguments. We're in the courts anyway. So why do you want to win an argument? It's not about winning arguments at all. When you are with your spouse, and when your spouse is your friend, you just say, you're welcome, Toyi Adebayo. Thank you for joining. You're welcome. Today we're actually talking about communication. Thank you for joining in. We're saying something that we should know our spouse body language, and we're talking about we need to know how to apologize to our spouse, and we need to know when, like what I was saying earlier when I said, what about if your spouse is the one that actually distressed you or that actually make you excited? What do you do? Tell him instead of picking up a phone. That phone is not going to help you. I'm telling you. When you pick up a phone and you say you want to call that friend that you're actually calling, you don't actually know what she's going through. That friend, she might not be having a happy home, or maybe outside is just quoted that she's having a happy home, and the advice she's going to give you is going to be wrong advice. But to her, she doesn't know it's wrong. Thank you very much, Mr. Shino Ayinde, for joining. Thank you. And that advice is that she has actually given you, she doesn't know the advice is wrong, because that's the best she can give. So why do you want to take a phone? Why do you want to go on WhatsApp? Why do you want to actually go on Snapchat to start talking about what your husband actually did? Oh, Eileen Bell, thank you for joining. And why do you want to tell her? Why don't you talk to your spouse directly and just say what you did is actually, I don't like it. Constant communication. Thank you very much for putting that in, Subha. Constant communication, tolerance, and reminder is what a good marriage should base on. Thank you very much for putting that in. Do you hear what that my brother said? He said constant communication. We need constantly. And like you say what? When I go different ways, when my husband goes out and I come back, even before I get home, that is me. I keep calling on the phone and I'll be saying, oh, you know what, today, guess what? I saw someone today, I did what? Don't say it's not relevant. It is relevant. Say everything. Do you know there's some, I would say some women, I would say some men. I'll say there are some spouses, when they buy things, they keep from one another. You don't have to. You don't have to. Why do you want to buy that woman here and you keep it? Why? And do you think the man doesn't know? He does know. He's only just keeping quiet. And why are you buying that shirt and you are keeping it? Olu, thank you for joining. Why are you buying that shirt and you are keeping it and you are like, oh, it's none of his business? Those little things matters. Come together, communicate. Tell him what happened. How was your day? What did you do? I went to this place, I went to this. You just talk. Communication is the key, and that is why most people are having issues in their marriages. Like what I said earlier on, for some of us that we are just joining now, I said what we need to do is just that, just hold in there. What we need to do, just come in, just hold in there. We just need to actually keep communicating, talking to our spouse. When you've actually done something wrong, don't find it as a big deal. Come out there to say you're sorry. That's exactly what we're talking about today. And I said, make it a duty this week, because we're going to be coming back every week, every Sunday by 7 o'clock to come between 7 to 7:45 to share about what is happening, our issues, our challenges, our happiness. We can come together and just share notes. You understand? So it's not that I'm just going to be talking alone. I appreciate people that can get back to me. I like any feedback, anything you want us to talk to together, anything we want us to put together too. But you know what? Communication is the key to good success in marriage. Communication and tolerance. Remember, like I said, we're from different backgrounds. And remember, when your wife, I remember when I got married, I was actually size 8. And look at me now, and I'm sure I'm 16. But you know what? I remember the preacher on my wedding day told my husband, he said, you know what, Rotimi, look at Shola very well. Look at my mother, that's my mom. That as she's giving birth, she's going to get big. Fine, I work on it. I try and work on it. But you know what? Let's love our spouse the way they are. Don't push them. Don't push them to what they cannot even do. And at the end of the day, it leads to something else. We need to look good. Like I said earlier on, before some of our sisters join us, those underwears you've been putting on for like 2 years, 1 year, you need to change them. Change your underwear, change your nighties, change your beds regularly. Shaves everywhere the hair is coming out from. Don't smell when you go on the bed. Smell nice. Let your husband know that no, even if he travels, you understand? Let him say, oh, I'm actually missing Shola's smell. I just love that smell. When your husband enter the room, let him feel that he's in a home. Let him feel when he's coming back from work. Let him say, oh, thank God I'm home. Go meet him with a cuddle, meet him with a kiss. You understand? Sometimes, we all have one day or the other at work. And if it's the husband that is at home first, there's nothing stopping our men from meeting the women with a kiss. It's all vice versa. Today, I'm not just talking about the men or the women, I'm talking about all of us. You understand? We're talking about I'm talking about a spouse today. I'm talking about communication. That is actually the key to good success in marriage. I appreciate everybody. Thank you. Somebody has actually the comment there. I'm reading that comment. So any comment, thank you so much. Like I read earlier on, someone said knowing our spouse love language is a very key. What does your husband like? What triggers him? What is it that you know, oh, when I actually do this, he's going to like it? What are the things that you know triggers him? Okay, thank you very much. I can see my sister saying that there. Let's accept our spouse as our God-given package. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Chiamaka, for joining. Dayo Adeleye, thank you for joining. Thank you. Let's accept our husband the way God has given us. Do you know what? We can't change them. And you know why we keep having issues in marriages? Because you want to change them to be like your daddy. No, it's not going to be like your daddy. You want your wife to be like your mom. No, it's not going to be like your mom. You just have to take your wife and your husband the way they actually are. We need to appreciate them. Remember, it's actually work in progress. Remember that man, maybe the man you actually got married to, he never used to go to mosque, never used to pray, he never used to go to church, and you are actually born in a prayerful home, and with love. You can't change a man by nagging. They don't want you. They don't like when you nag. Thank you for joining. Tomi Ogule, that's my beautiful niece. Thank you. They don't want you when you nag. We need to just be patient. We need to be romantic. We need to be loving. And it's just to everything. We don't need to nag. That thing you want to change about your spouse, you communicate it. You say it in a very subtle way. There is no man that is born stubborn. No. But it's actually our approach. It's our approach to where we're actually saying it. Like that, like someone said now, he said, let's take our spouse as our God-given package. God has given us. Let's appreciate them. Let's appreciate them. Appreciate your spouse. Like I said earlier on, for some people, I can see some men are just joining now. I want to say that again. Go to the kitchen while your wife is in the kitchen. Remember, she's been at work all day too. Even though she's a homemaker. Homemaker is the hardest thing that you can think of. Remember, she's taking care of the children. Go to the kitchen. Give her a lovely hug from the back. I enjoy that and I love that. You know, say, well done, Shola, you're doing well. Well done, Fumi, you're doing well. Appreciate her. Because it's not easy and you know what? There are some people that she's still cooking in the kitchen and she's still going to do the laundry because the children are still young. But you know what? Please tell the men there's nothing bad in you doing the laundry while your wife is cooking. And women, there is nothing bad. There is nothing bad in you saying that, my darling, can I drop the boy at the football club today? You know what? Don't have a rule that no, this is your job, this is my job. No, let us come together and just let's shuffle it. Don't have a routine. Like in my home, I use myself as an example now. We don't have a routine that no, we have to do this. You can have a routine in the sense that okay, you're going to drop the children on your way to work. That's not bad because it's actually going that way. You can drop the children. But the way the day is running late, he doesn't want to drop the children. Don't take it on him and don't take it on her. Remember, we're meant to appreciate one another. Communication is the key. We need to love one another. We need to tolerate one another. We need to communicate every day. Like I said, our science week, I need everybody to thank you very much, Temitope Adeosho, for joining. Thank you. Like I said, our program this week is that our assignment, like I said, this week, we need to write 10 things that you like about your husband and 10 things that you like about your wife. And you're going to do what? You're going to say it to him every day. Thank you for marrying me. Thank you for giving me those children. Thank you for buying this for me. Thank you for being you. Thank you for just being a wonderful wife. Thank you for just being a lovely husband. So that's what we're going to say this week. We're going to communicate to our spouse and let's form it an habit. Let's talk every day. What is that thing that we want to discuss, that we feel we need to call our friend? I'm not saying we shouldn't have friends. Everybody knows me. I love friends. In fact, I think I have the largest number of friends. I like friends and I share things with them. But when it comes to my husband, I respect my husband and my friends who respect him. So let's respect our husbands. Let's respect our wives. Don't talk down on your wife in front of your friends. Men, please. Women are sensitive. Please. And women are human. Don't say because we're not talking globally now because I can see some of my friends that are here. So we just want to say we appreciate everybody. I can see some people from Canada. I can see them from England. I can actually see them from Dublin. I can see them from Nigeria. Thank you for joining. I can see them from Spain, from France. I appreciate everybody. What I just want to say is that this week, let us appreciate our spouse. Let's communicate, please. Enough of keeping quiet, please. Enough of saying, anyway, once I'm annoyed, he knows I'm annoyed. He does not even know you. The man is too busy, he didn't see you. So let's voice out. Shola, thank you for joining. So let's voice out. Let's voice out. What is that thing that we don't like, that we want to change? But you know, when we are voicing out, remember, we want to voice out in love. Remember, we want to voice out in the way that you're going to be kind of very romantic and just say it in a very subtle way. Don't be hasty. Speak. Learn to listen more. Flora, thank you for joining. Learn to listen more to your spouse. And you let him finish before you talk. Marriages are working. And I believe and I pray that your marriage will work. I believe and I know your marriage will work. I'm just sorry some people are joining us now, but we actually started 7. We're a bit late today, 7:05. Every Sunday we're going to be tuning on to this, and some of our friends are saying they're not on Facebook, so we want to connect to from there's going to be a link next week that will be able to watch it on YouTube. And we've discussed about communication this week. This program is not for married people alone, it's for married people, it's for singles, it's for single mothers, it's for single fathers, it's actually for children. How do we raise godly children? That is what we're actually talking about. We want to know how to raise our children. What are we teaching those children? Is it the way we are shouting on the husband, or is it the way you're actually shouting on your wife? The children are watching you. So write those 10 things, and next week I'm actually going to call some of us. You're going to type to me some of the things you actually said to your spouse. So I appreciate every one of us. Before then, thank you very much. And there's something somebody just said. What if you appreciate your partner and he or she does not appreciate you? What do you do? Thank you very much for that. And you know what I'll do? I'll keep saying that. And you know what I do? Sometimes when I say I love you, and my husband is busy, he didn't listen or he didn't reply. Do you know what I do? I'll just say, mine, I just said I love you, and you're not replying me. And I'll speak, and you know what? The man will just say, I love you too, I love you too, I love you too. So if you appreciate your spouse and he's not giving it back to you, you know what? You keep doing it. They know me, I appreciate cards. And when birthday coming, I actually keep saying, everybody don't forget to buy me cards. So what you want, you announce it. And you know, when you are appreciating, there is no way you keep appreciating, saying, oh, I love you, thank you, and she's not saying it. Let her know she's not saying it. Because there is actually a man that told me there that, what about if you appreciate your spouse and he's not actually saying it? So you keep saying it, you keep appreciating her, you keep appreciating him until when he actually change to what you want. Thank you, Big Bob, for joining us. Thank you, me, for joining us. We're actually, I don't really want to go, but I'm just a bit time conscious. We actually spoke about communication today. For some of us that are just joining, we spoke about communication, about what are we doing, how are we communicating with our spouse, how are we communicating even with our children. Oh, thank you very much, my darling sister from America, Mushebola Toani. Thank you for joining. How are we raising those godly children that God has given us? We're communicating with our spouse. Are we just leaving everything? Are we just sweeping it under the carpet? Are we appreciating ourselves? What are we saying to one another? What we discussed today is about communication, and I said we should write in 10 things we need to communicate. We need to say about our spouse. So next week Sunday we're coming. We're going to meet up. We spoke about communication today. Next week Sunday we're going to talk about singles. We're going to talk about marriages, about connecting with the wonderful children that God has given us. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining. I appreciate everyone. The Lord will bless our home. The Lord will bless our children. He will keep us to old age. Nobody will reap our reward. We will enjoy our old age together with our spouse. Nobody will sit on that seat when it's time to be celebrated for our children. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Without you, it cannot be done. And thank you, my lovely boys, my Odele, my Atibu, my Mikuma, Mitola, and my head, Oluwadurotime. I just appreciate you. I celebrate you because you made this to happen. Thank you so much, everyone. See you next Sunday, and God bless you. Thank you. Have a wonderful day and blessed week. Bye. Remember, keep communicating and keep appreciating. God bless. Bye.